Okay. And I just put Sensual on too, over it. So now I have 3 blush colors on. And I'm okay with that. You guys, today we are taking yet another look at the Dior Rouge blushes. These are new blushes. They now have 22 colors, and I got 2 and did a video 2 weeks ago. I'll post that right here. So I'm having a hard time understanding what these colors are, and I bought 2 new colors. So we're going to put on the 2 new colors on both sides because, you know, lighting. And then we're going to compare to the first 2 colors that I got, and then to another couple of colors, and those will all be hand swatches. And I'm also going to bring in some footage that I did when we had very brief sunlight outside. So let's get started with the 2 new colors that I got. This is Nude Look. It is a matte, and it's not a new color. And this is Greige. But the back of this says Sillage. So it's the same color, and we're going to give those a go. I feel like these are probably a little bit more up my alley. And as I've been wearing these other 2 over and over again, I've really kind of come to the conclusion, even though it is hard to see because of the light, that the Dansante is actually warm. But we'll get into that later. I've already done my makeup. I've already powdered my face, and I have 2 fresh brushes, and we're going to get into it. So this is Greige, or Satin Sillage, and this, I was hoping to get something kind of Greige. I have shot this video 4 other times, you guys. 3 times, 4th time, the charm, hopefully. So I can say, I thought this was going to be a little bit more Greige, but I think it's one of those shapeshifters where, depending on the angle you're looking at it, it can be a little bit of a Greige. But I feel that it's easily an everyday kind of color. I really enjoy this. I'm going to scooch up a little bit because I've added another light that is really very, very cool. I want to get away from it a little bit so you can get a good idea of what this color is. I'm not putting a lot on. This is how I would normally wear my blush. I mean, when I'm looking in this mirror, I think it's almost a little too much, but again, that light is so strong. So this is Greige, and here is the color again here, and here. And I think you can see, it has a mauvey kind of tone to it, a coolness to it, but it's reading cool in the most agreeable way for me. I'm kind of over the whole rosewood thing. I did that in my 20s. But I really, really like this one a lot. I think it's fantastic for everyday wear. Right now I'm going to take a little bit of my foundation and go over this, but I really, really like this shade. I think it could easily become one of those shades that I go to when I don't know what to go to. And a little powder. Somebody had asked me how these formulas are different, because it is not only a bunch of new colors, but the formula is different. And the truth is, I only have one that's not a limited edition, and that's the Charnel. I really can't say how they're different. For me, it's really about the shades, and it's still scented, so they haven't changed that. Now this one is the matte. It's called Nude Look, and I was hoping it might be quite nude. A little bit more. Now for me, I have been wanting kind of a nudish blush that is in a powder, because I do have that covered in creams, but it's always nice to kind of layer if you can. Put a little cream on, put a little powder over it, and they don't have to be exactly the same color, but I've just been kind of craving that. And I wonder if this is that. I do feel that it's a very natural color for my skin tone. So I consider myself to be light medium. Today I'm wearing the Makeup Forever Reboot in Y315, and I wish I got some more of that in the sale, but maybe Hourglass will be having a sale. Not Hourglass. Maybe Makeup Forever will be having a sale sometime soon, and I can pick up another bottle because I wear that mostly in the summer when my skin gets a little darker. And in the winter I could be a little bit lighter like most people, but I feel like this shade is very, very natural looking on my skin. And let's do a swatch. And here it is, Nude Look. I feel that both of these have more of a pink undertone versus the first two that I got. So let's do some comparison swatches. This is Sensual. And I think I got this because I thought it would be safe for me, because I do love in the summertime this kind of corally pink color that has a little bit of warmth to it, but it's not terribly warm. It's not like orange. And that's that. And this is Dansante, which initially I thought, yes, this is it. This is the nude blush that I'm looking for. But I feel that it runs warm. And you can see when I put them together, indeed, this one is warmer. And I just don't really like warm blushes all that much. I feel that if we had sunlight here, I could really put it on and see, is it going to be for me or is it not going to be for me? But we don't have that. So that's right here. Dansante, Sensual, Nude Look, and Greige, also called Sillage. And I think you can tell these are both warm, and these are both at least towards the pink zone. Let me flatten out the hand a little bit so that can help you out. And then I wanted to compare, because I do feel that the Charnel, here comes Grace. I'm telling you, with all the cords and the lights all over the place, if she makes one wrong move, it all comes down. I mean, it happened to me the other day. Luckily, I realized that I was in a precarious position because this room is so small, and I moved my camera into the living room or into the dining room, and sure enough, I tripped over one of the cords. The tripod came down, knocked some of the things off the table down, one of the lights went down. Fun. This is Charnel, and I'm going to put that in this zone here. And I feel that Charnel is very close to Dansante, except it's lighter. So if you are a lover of Charnel, but sometimes it's a little too dark for you, then Dansante is going to make you very, very happy, I think. Now, I bought Charnel because online it looked so different. It looked very dark, and I've been craving a dark blush to use with a ginger hand, and I think I got what I wanted with this one, Mahogany. But it kind of looked closer to Mahogany than it does to what this looks like in real life, and it's actually pretty warm. I think you can see here that it is on the warmer side. So I don't use it very often, but Dansante might actually be the solution for me. And this is a limited edition. I can't remember what it's called. Hopefully I'll remember it. And by the time I post this, it's not written on here, it's just the number. It came out last year, I think. And this was a go-to. Whenever I didn't know what to do, this is what I pulled to. And it's on the pinker side, but it's also quite light. It is kind of a pinky nude, and it's right here. I think it might be called Rose Dentelle. And there you have it. If I haven't brought in my outdoor swatches by now, let me bring them in right now, and hopefully I said what the shades were while I was shooting on my phone. It's possible that I did not, and I might have to do a little doctoring on that, but that might be helpful for you too. For me, this is really about the colors. Are these colors that are going to interest you? I'm always up for blush. Blush and lips to me can change everything. I could do the same eye or a variation of the same eye, either browns or grays, and be fine, but it's the blush and the lip that changes everything. For today's lip, I just did a mishmash because one thing was too pink and another thing was too dark. Let's put this on. This is from Laura Mercier. I think it sits right in the middle, and the sun is coming out a little bit. So let me just show you those swatches one more time. I mean, just a little bit of sun, and because I have these lights on, the color's a little weird because the light that I added is very, very blue-based light, which changes the color of everything. So this one I love. While the sun is out, I just want to go in with the Greige one more time and layer them. The Greige. I'll just put it down here like a blush contour. I'll bring it up because don't we all contour up sometimes? I don't know what she's doing out there. So that gives me a little bit of definition. And you guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. I really, really hope that this is helpful when you're trying to decide what color you want to get from these new blushes. I do love Dior. Dior is one of my very favorite brands. I am so glad that they have expanded their shade range because it seemed to me like they had not that many shades, maybe 10 shades, and a lot of them were not satins. They had a wide variety. They had holographic, which is so pretty to look at in the pan, but when I swatched in store, I thought, I don't think that's going to work for me. Kind of had a Pat McGrath vibe, but these satins I really, really appreciate. And even the matte, the new look is matte, and I'm fine with that as well. And that's going to wrap up today's video, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.